My name is Mrs. Wheeless, and I'm one of the children's librarians here at the Summit Free Public Library. These children are here today, and you're here today for our Thursday program, which is called Serendipity. We have something different every Thursday at 4 o'clock for kids in kindergarten through 5th grade. It's something different every week. Stories, songs, a craft, and often puppet shows. Today we're going to have a puppet show that's done by shadow puppets. And the puppeteers you will meet after the show is over. I'll be the narrator. And so we are ready to begin. This lovely quilt was made for my family many years ago by my husband's Aunt Margaret, before we ever thought of doing a shadow puppet show. So we'll reveal now the set of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and I will turn out the lights. Okay. You get yourself where you can see really well. Once upon a time, there were 3 bears who lived in a little house in the woods. There was a great big bear, a middle-sized bear, and a little tiny whiny wee small bear. They lived in the forest in a house of their own. They didn't have Wi-Fi or a cell phone. One morning, the middle-sized bear made her family's favorite breakfast, porridge. The baby bear said, "Mama, is the porridge ready yet?" "No, dear, it's not quite ready." "How about now?" "No, dear, not yet." "How about now?" "No, dear, I don't think so, but I'll taste a little to see if it's all right." "I think it's a little too hot to eat now, dear. Let's go for a walk in the woods while the porridge cools." And so, the great big bear, the middle-sized bear, the little tiny whiny wee small bear couldn't eat their porridge 'cause it was too hot. So they walked in the forest while it cooled a lot. So off went the 3 bears for a hike in the woods, singing their favorite song. Now, while they were gone, a little girl named Goldilocks came to their house. She didn't ring the doorbell. She didn't knock on the door. She didn't even call out, "Anybody home?" She didn't even check to see if the alarm system was activated. She just walked right in the 3 bears' house without being invited. "My name is Goldie, Goldie. Yeah, that's me. They call me Goldie, Goldie. What's this I see?" Goldilocks saw the porridge in the bowls on the table. She was very hungry because that morning she had eaten only 3 bowls of highly nutritious, super energy-producing, free-range, organic, and gluten-free cotton candy cereal for breakfast. She wanted some of that porridge, so she tasted each one. She said, "This porridge is too hot. This porridge is too cold. This porridge is just right, so I'll take another little tiny bite." And she ate every single bite of the little tiny whiny wee small bear's porridge. Every single bite. And believe it or not, she was still hungry. So She ate all of the great big bear's porridge and the middle-sized bear's porridge. Why, that greedy little girl even licked all 3 of the bowls. Her table manners were atrocious. Then Goldie saw the 3 bears' chairs. She thought she'd have a little fun, climbing and jumping on the chairs in the living room, which was something she was never allowed to do at home.
I like to move it. I like to move it. You like to move it. I like to move it. I like to move it. I like to move it. You like to move it. I like to move it. I like to move it. I like to move it. You like to move it.
Now, when Goldilocks was tired of jumping on the chairs, she tried sitting on each one. She said, "This chair is too high. This chair is too low. This chair is just right, so I think I'll just sit tight." Now you can imagine that after Goldie had eaten 3 bowls of cotton candy cereal and 3 bowls of porridge, she was very full and heavy. So when she sat down, she broke the little tiny whiny wee small bear's chair. Then Goldilocks climbed up the ladder and went into the 3 bears' bedroom. She saw the 3 bears' bed. Oh, she thought, what could be more fun than jumping on the beds?
I like to move it. I like to move it. I like to move it. You like to move it. Us kids all over the world. Original King Julia for the kids.
Yeah, this is from King Julian.
Now, when she was tired of jumping on the beds, she thought to herself, I'll just try the beds out and see if they're good for sleeping. She said, "This bed is too hard. This bed is too soft. This bed is just right, so I think I'll spend the night." And Goldilocks fell fast asleep. Meanwhile, the 3 bears came back from their walk in the woods. They could tell someone had come into their house because the kitchen was a mess. They were extremely neat bears. Some might say compulsive, obsessive, but very neat bears. They had left everything so neat and tidy, and now there were muddy footprints tracking up the floor and porridge spilled all over the table. Then the 3 bears looked closely at their porridge bowls. They said, "Someone has eaten my porridge. Someone has eaten mine too. Somebody has eaten my porridge." And they slobbered all over the bowl. Boo! Then the 3 bears went into the living room to find another mess. The chairs were all shoved out of place and there were cushions thrown all over. The stuffing was even coming out of some of the upholstery. The 3 bears looked closely at their chairs and they said, "Somebody's been sitting in my chair. Somebody's been sitting in mine too. Somebody's been sitting in my chair, and they broke it down. Boo! Then the 3 bears climbed up the ladder to their bedroom. They had made their beds
Papa Bear is
perfectly.
standing on Mama Bear, and Mama Bear standing on Baby Bear.
Then the 3 bears climbed up the ladder to their bedroom. They had made their beds perfectly that morning, and now the designer bedspreads were hanging off the sides, and the down pillows and feathers were all over the place. And then the 3 bears looked closely at their beds. They said, "Somebody's been sleeping in my bed. Somebody's been sleeping in mine too. direction. She was so frightened she ran as fast as she could, and the bears chased her all over the house.
Goldilocks! Oh, all the bears are standing on Goldilocks' tent. Go out! Run away! Run away, Goldilocks! Run away! Run away! Get out the door! Oh no! Papa Bear stood on Baby Bear. Oh no! Mama Bear stood on Baby
And
Bear.
finally, Goldilocks ran out the door and ran all the way home. And she never, ever went in anyone's house again without being invited. And that is the story of Goldie and the Three Bears. Let's have our puppeteers come out with the puppets and take a bow. Okay, this is Mrs. Jordan, and let's see who you have. You have Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear. And this is Jack, and Jack has Mama Bear and who's this?
Goldilocks.
Okay, so see what you were seeing were the shadows of them, and for your craft project today, you're going to make your own shadow puppets to take home. All right, let's have another round of applause for our puppeteers. Very good. Thank you. What?
Can I see the inside of the theater?
I'm going to show it to everybody, okay? So just sit right there and hang on, I'll show you. Now, Mrs. Jordan and Jack also, if you could cut that off. Not too long ago, Mrs. Jordan and Jack and her daughter Emma made their own puppet show. And what was it called again, Jack? You wrote the script, and it was called The Princess and the Dragon. Jack wrote the script, and they had a different set from this one. Now see how this works? Mrs. Jordan took a picture frame that didn't have a picture or glass in it, and she stretched a baby sheet that's kind of nice and stretchy across it and pinned it. Can you see the pins on the bottom? Pinned it nice and tight so the shadows would show up really well. No pins on the bottom, my mistake. Pins on the top and the sides. Now many years ago, because I've been doing this puppet show for a long time, many years ago I cut out of fairly lightweight cardboard the floor, see, and the beds, and the ladder, and the chair, 3 chairs, and the table with the bowls. And they had to break the chair because Goldilocks broke it. And then the shadow puppets, we'll show you those. I'll just put this over here. So I would encourage you moms, if you feel so inclined on a rainy day when you're looking for something to eat, something to do with the kids, you might think it might be fun to make some shadow puppets. And these are just made out of cardboard. The ones you're going to make today are made out of black construction paper, which is a lot easier, and they show up really well. So that's the idea of the shadow puppets. So now we're... What?
Can you make anything?
Well, the choices today, we're not ready for this yet, but here are the choices. You can make a bear.
In the basement, the hallway one.
Okay, is everybody still listening? You can make a bear, a butterfly, a lion, or a person. So those are the choices. And I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Oh, we have a story we're going to act out in a minute, which is going to be really, really fun. And
Hey, look! They're baby bear chairs.
the bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain, bear went over the mountain to see what he could see. And you sing this part with me. To see what he could see, to see what he could see. The bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain, bear went over the mountain to see what he could see. All right, Fabian, what do you think he saw? What do you think?
A mountain.
The other side of the mountain. Let's hear you sing. It's an easy tune. Sing with me. The other side of the mountain, the other side of the mountain, the other side of the mountain. That is a really good answer. All right, now we're ready for a story, and this is the story we're going to act out. So sit back down here. Sit back down here. And this is a story. Hi, how many people? Let's see. Okay, what? I like them very much. Now come and join us, fellows, because I'm going to need Enzo and Javi and Jack. So sit down. I'm going to need you because we're going to act out that story we acted out the other day. Hi, Christian. Okay, just hang on, hang on. I think we're going to have to take turns, all right? Now, let's see. Is that candle still burning? Is it?
Yeah.
Now, when the candle's burning, you have an important job. And that's to sit still in one place and listen. I'm going to give you a chance to tell the story along with me, and you'll find out how in just a minute. Can you keep your bottle quiet? Thank you so much. That's a big help. All right. One time, there was an old man, an old woman, a little boy, a little girl, a squirrel, and a baby, and they all lived in the same little cozy house. One day, the baby started crying because there was no milk in his bottle. And the old woman said to the little boy, she said, "Little boy, here's some money. You go to the store and get some milk for this baby and some soda crackers, and don't you be long now, you hear?" And the little boy said, "You do this with me." "Yes, Mama." And down the road he went until he saw a great big bear. And the little boy said, "How'd you get..." Okay, right now, let me tell you. Wait a little bit. He's heard it before. And could probably tell it yourself. So maybe you'll come to my storytelling program this summer and learn to tell a story. That'd be great. The little boy said, "How'd you get so big?" And the bear said, "Ate a bale of hay, drank a glass of milk, and I'll eat you too." The little boy said, "Huh, you can't eat me, because I can run fast and you can't catch me." So the little boy started running, but the bear ran after him. The little boy ran faster, but the bear ran faster. The little boy almost made it to the bridge, but he stubbed his toe. The bear caught him and ate him up. This is just a story, okay? It's just a story to you little ones, all right? You big kids know it's just a funny story. Anywho, back home, the baby was really crying louder now, and the old woman said to the little girl, "Little girl, where is that little boy? He should have been back by now. He's probably just wasting time as usual. Here's some money. You go to the store. Get some milk for this crying baby and get some soda crackers. And if you see that little boy anywhere, tell him I said to come home right this minute. You hear?" And she said, "Yes, Mama." And down the road she went until she saw the great big bear. She said, "How'd you get so big?" And when you catch on, you can say some of these parts with me. The bear said, "Ate a bale of hay, drank a glass of milk, ate a little boy, and I'll eat you too." The little girl said, "Huh, you can't eat me because I can run faster than the little boy, and you'll never catch me." So the little girl started running, but the bear ran after her. The little girl ran faster, but the bear ran faster. The little girl almost made it to the bridge, but she stubbed her toe. The bear caught her and ate her up. Now back home, that baby was crying even louder. The old woman said, "Where is that little boy? Where is that little girl? They should have been home by now." "Old man, you go to the store. Here's some money. Get some milk for the crying baby and get some soda crackers. And if you see that little boy and that little girl anywhere, you tell them I said to come home right this minute." And the old man said, "Yes, Mama." And down the road he went till he saw the great big bear. The old man said, "How'd you get so big?" The bear said, "Ate a bale of hay, drank a glass of milk, ate a little boy, ate a little girl, and I'll eat you too." But the old man said, "Huh, you can't eat me because I can run faster than the little boy and the little girl put together, and I know a shortcut." So, Can I have the bottle, sweetie? Okay, thank you so much. So, the old man started running, but the bear ran after him. The old man ran faster, but the bear ran faster. The old man took the shortcut, but the bear took the shortcut. The old man almost made it to the bridge, but he
stubbed his toe.
The bear caught him and ate him up. Well, back home, the old woman said, "Huh, where is that little boy? Where is that little girl? Where is that old man? They all should have been home by now. I guess I'll just have to do it myself." Down the road she went and she saw the great big bear. The old woman said, "How'd you get so big?" The bear said, "Ate a bale of hay, drank a glass of milk, ate a little boy, ate a little girl, ate an old man, and I'll eat you too." The old woman said, "Huh, you can't eat me, 'cause I can run faster than the little boy, the little girl, and the old man, all three put together, and I know 2 shortcuts." So the old woman started running, but the bear ran after her. You can say this with me. The old woman ran faster, but the bear ran faster. The old woman took the first shortcut, but the bear took the first shortcut. The old woman took the second shortcut, but the bear took the second shortcut. The old woman almost made it to the bridge, but she stubbed her toe. The bear caught her and ate her up. Well, back home, you can imagine how loud that baby was crying now. And the little squirrel said, "Well, if all of them are gone, I ain't staying around here with this crying baby." So the little squirrel went down the road, lippity, 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 till he saw the great big bear. The little squirrel said, "How'd you get so big?" The bear said, "Ate a bale of hay, drank a glass of milk, ate a little boy, ate a little girl, ate an old man, ate an old woman, and I'll eat you too." And the little squirrel said, "You can't eat me, 'cause I can climb up a tree and you can't catch me." So the little squirrel started climbing up the tree, but the great big bear climbed up the tree after him. The little squirrel climbed all the way to the top of the tree, but the bear climbed all the way to the top of the tree too. But then the little squirrel did something that you have seen squirrels do.
What?
He jumped from the top of that tree over to the top of another tree and climbed down to the ground. But when the great big bear tried to jump from the top of the tree to the top of the other tree, the tree broke. The bear fell to the ground, and out popped the old woman. Out popped the old man. Out popped the little boy. Out popped the little girl.
And all their money.
And they picked up the little squirrel, and they went to the store, bought the milk and the soda crackers, and went home and fed the baby. And that is the story of the great big bear.